Joining me now is Adjunct Senior Fellow at the Center for a New American Security and the former counsel to the Assistant Attorney General for National Security, Alexis Collins. She is a former Deputy Chief of the Counterterrorism Section in the National Security Division at the Justice Department. Alexis, thank you for being with us. Talk to me about this. What is the significance, and I don't know whether it's different in Canada than it is here, but what's the significance of identifying something like the Proud Boys as a hate group?
Thank you very much for having me this morning to talk about this really important topic. The development in Canada was quite interesting because it does have ramifications for the Proud Boys here in the United States. Now, Canadian citizens won't be able to provide material support to their organization, and it may have other similar effects. The way that law enforcement here in the United States can go after groups or individuals who are committing or preparing to commit domestic terroristic acts is slightly different. We use the criminal laws and criminal investigative tools to investigate these groups. But those tools we're seeing play out now in the investigations that have come in the wake of the Capitol riots of January 6th.
Does the idea that they are that Proud Boys may be called a terrorist group by other countries enhance the American ability to either prosecute them or go after them?
So here in the United States, we don't have a specific crime called domestic terrorism. Instead, there's a definition of it in federal law, but it's not itself a crime. So instead, prosecutors and investigators use criminal laws that are directed at the conduct that the groups and its members are engaging in, the criminal conduct that they're engaging in. So the designation in Canada, while it may have effects and it reinforces the notion that this group is potentially engaged in domestic terrorism, it doesn't have a specific application here in the United States. And we do have a designation process for terrorist organizations, but those organizations must be foreign. We don't have, as a general matter, we don't have a designation process for domestic groups, and that's because of the First Amendment, of course. But there are other types of tools that we can use to go after these sorts of groups that are engaging in domestic terrorism.
Is there a philosophical discussion to be had about the fact that we don't have those things? And I was going to ask you why, and you said because of the First Amendment, which makes sense. But clearly the things that some of these groups did, which led to the January 6th attack on the Capitol, fall outside the purview of the First Amendment, or they're not protected by the First Amendment in that case. So is there a philosophical discussion in the United States about why or whether we should be able to designate U.S.-based groups as terrorist organizations?
Yes, there is that debate, and it's the way it's taking shape is part of the debate over whether there should be a crime of domestic terrorism. Because by going after the conduct of these groups as kind of isolated individual crimes, destruction of federal property, assault on a federal officer, is very different than being able to put it in the full context of this broader movement to further white supremacist or white nationalist or anti-government militia goals. And that is a major difference, because how you label something can help determine how you respond to it. And it also reflects the true severity of the conduct.
Alexis, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Alexis Collins is an adjunct senior fellow at the Center for a New American Security. I hope we get a chance to talk about this more. Unfortunately, it's becoming an important matter for us to think about.